Finals day for First Stand has just concluded. We have our inaugural champions. It was a night and day matchup. The Goliath of HLE taking on the battered David in Karmine Corps. Hanwha Life Esports came into the tournament as favourites. And after what we'd seen from them coming into finals, that was all too true. This team was good. Very, very good. Their opposition was LEC upstarts, Karmine Corps, who scraped their ways to finals with a negative game score of 7 wins and 8 losses to make it to the finals. But despite their abysmal start to First Stand, despite the vanishingly narrow path to playoffs they had to tread, they still made finals against all odds. Could they find one more miracle? Or would HLE's immense talent prove as inevitable and unmatchable as it seemed? Hey, I'm Initialize. Let's dive in and find out. Game 1 gave the LEC faithful hope. It was the Karmine Corps that had sniped a game off HLE in groups. The Karmine Corps that had battled their way through 5 games against CFO in semis that turned up to brawl with HLE in the opening bout of this series. Yike was on Maokai, a good start, but paired up with Vladdy's Talir and Kanna's Jace, KC had managed to get players on champions they were both exceptionally comfortable piloting and could fight heavily for lane priority. With Kalista on Misfortune, more lane prio, and Targamas on Rakan, there were some really big teamfight combos for KC to work with too. Maokai in particular sets up for so many big skill shots for KC. Think shock blasts and bullet dimes and seismic shoves all on rooted targets. And there was no one really on HLE who could deal with that in the long run. Well, they certainly did try. HLE had Rumble, Wukong and Azir, big time teamfight threats in their own right. And Viper on the Kai'Sa will always be a threat. Delight got a hold of the Alistar too, which was normally a great sign for HLE. And early on it was a scrappy affair, with Delight and Zeus both getting some cheeky vision plays to catch KC out, but KC finding some solid plays of their own. But all this set up for the mid-game madness that KC was all too willing to drag HLE into. Cue the montage.
In that frack brush last time we saw him, so he's been waiting there for quite a long time. He's going to be looking.
Yeah, Vladdy does have the rocks on the ground, so can't actually use them to stop that headbutt. The flash forward from Viper, and that will be a kill. The answer comes through, and everything very even as once again Delight is pulverizing. Kalista's going to get stunned up there by the trample. Well, there's the Nature's Grasp. Cyclone there for Peanut as well as the Rift Herald is being ignored. Down comes the Rumble as well. Equalizer not cancels it. We'll be able to get that point-blank harpoon as the flash out from Kanna, flash to immediately follow there from Zeus, and he just Viper. Yeah, no, it is just gone. Yes, they see it, but that's all they're going to see is Delight going to cancel all of that CC with his ultimate, and now realizing that they weren't actually going to go for a fight. It might be that they can get the cow, although he just flashes, gets himself out of there. Just behind him, Yikes moving in. Throws down the ulti as Zaya says, well, I guess I'm not going that direction. Now realizing, I think, that he's probably going to be dead as there are rocks all over the ground. He gets flung back
there from KC, punishing the side lane.
Well, Weaver's Wall going to come through here once again. Vladdy looking for an opportunity. Seismic shove going to hit onto Viper. And the Shock Blast to follow up that punishment. Just insane as he's still burning down. Sitting at about 150, and he's going to have to blast cone his way out of this one. The rest of HLE just trying to play defense, as I don't think Delight is going to be as lucky as his AD carry. We'll have a pulverize, I think. Yeah, there it is. And then he's dead. And so the Drake gonna go.
They get the dragon, but the Kalist.
Oh dear, there's a Cyclone. Zeka gonna turn off. These Sand Soldiers doing some work. Doesn't actually hit Kalist with the ult though. Only onto Targamas as now the Nature's Grasp. The flash from Zeka is aggressive, but the Seismic Shove is better. And Zeka will be taken down. Twisted Advance does it, but now Zeus is going to turn up the Equalizer. He's going to soften them up and then knock him down. Kanna goes to the skies, looks to get some revenge against Zeus, but Yike is so far in. Now doing battle against a Delight that's only just come back, and Peanut wants to get some revenge himself. Behind enemy lines is this tree, and Yike should be falling, although he makes it back to the rest of his team. He's another teleport to bring Zeus into this mid lane as he's booking it towards Kanna once again. Kalist will have the damage though, and Zeus is just gonna fall.
They do have to be aware of the flash timers though. Both Viper and Klee spent their flash, but Delight has his.
Yeah, Headbutt Pulp comes in. Targamas should be able to make it towards Vlad if he wants to, but instead they turn it around. There's the shutdown onto Peanut. Delight has to get the heck out of there. Weaver's Wall comes through. but I think they've already
There
won.
are still a lot of teamfight ultimates available. Zeus, Zeka, Viper, and the Light, all of theirs available.
Oh, wow, blowing the stopwatch very early here to Zeus as the
Delight,
equalizer
though.
comes down. Delight looking for an angle, in goes Zeka, finds two with the ultimate immediately, he's thrown around, does go into stasis
Viper's dead.
eventually. Viper taken down, Zeus the last man standing, he's got a flamethrower but no hope, it's a double for Yike and there goes the Baron. Gonna have to find something in the tank here if they want to win this one as Nature's Grasp comes through once again. There's a wall there as well. The bullet time comes down as this Unbreakable Will is going to need to be exactly that as Delight utilizes it to get rid of a whole lot of damage. But now the equalizer coming down. The quickness comes through from Targamas, not able to get on top of Peanut, but that doesn't matter. Empress back once again, hits two. It's a double for Vladdy though on the other side. Cannon going to be taken down and now Zeus is looking to chase after Targamas and Yike. He has to sacrifice himself, but now it's Viper and Zeka chasing after the remainders of the Baron. As Yike should be chased out here by the Pigeon Man. And Targamas, I think he's probably going to be fast enough to get out as Yike. He's on vision. He's got that little sapling down though, and we're gonna need a shifting sands from Zeka to be able to catch up to this guy. And Twisted Advance. Pigeon getting involved now as well, as Zeka throws out some Sand Soldiers. This Dragon already down to 50%. Yike wanting to move on over. Let's see whether this Nature's Grasp comes down. The equalizer is gonna be preemptive though. As Delight gonna get rooted, does have his Unbreakable Will, and HLE, you can just get them yourselves out, but instead they're looking for a team fight as Zeka finds some Sand Soldiers. The quickness gonna get interrupted, and the charge comes through, knocked up as well, but he just shifts the sands, gets himself out. TP. Now without Delight, they're going to teleport on top to see whether they can take down HLE. Vladdy gonna get harpooned. He looks for some of these shots as Zeka goes golden with that Zhonya's, and in the meantime, Peanut is just gonna get melted. Two-man on the Emperor's Divide is not quite good enough. As Kalist taking the damage here as the GA is gonna be popped as well. Man, that Bloodthirster looks completely broken as he one-taps Viper. I don't think they're gonna be able to do it as Delight just needs to try and get in there and stop this wave.
A lot of props have to go to Yike on the Maokai, who'd managed to pick up enough AP to be a serious threat across multiple extended team fights that we saw. But Kalist as well became a major problem that HLE overextended onto multiple times to poor results. Clearly though, this game just made them angry, because HLE came back as stone cold killers for the next 3 games. The hope that Karmine Corps had kindled for Western League fans was swiftly snuffed out. HLE were relentless and suffocating in the way that LCK teams of old used to be known for. For context, across the next 3 games, KC picked up a grand total of 1 turret, 5 grubs, 2 dragons, and a herald. That was it in 3 games. They were all but shut out of the river and could never find a concerted siege onto HLE's structures. In Game 2, despite relatively matched team fighting comps and scaling, the lane prio from Anar and Varus allowed for nearly permanent tracking of Yike's Ivan for HLE, and KC never found a foot into the game as a result.
Because he has nowhere else to go. That's first blood somehow here at 12.5 minutes.
Yet, as Zeus should be fine here still. I don't think there's enough people nearby. Let's get...
Does need to hit this tower a couple of times before he makes his way out as he flashes, actually. Not sure about that one as the Nara into the wall. He hits the Mega as Delight comes over. The redemption coming down though as Yike looking to try and protect his top laner. But with Peanut in the area, they might be able to get something done, but Delight is just being given up for the Ghost.
He's dead.
And it looks like KC are going to be able to finally strike back in this game, answering that first blood with a kill of their own.
That's actually huge as well, but they're going to look for Kalist.
Yeah, ulti comes through from Zeka here as Kalist taking a fair bit of damage, but not going to be hit by everything. Zeka needed to land that other one. Piercing arrow going to go wide there, working out, although it might be enough to kill Zeus, like you were saying. See whether he can crush his way out of it. There's enough CC here as Vladdy is getting the same treatment as the Glacial Fissure, almost what finishes him off there as Zeus will get taken down as well. Peanut in the meantime, range that we were talking about from Viper really a factor here. As there's the Hex Flash in from Targamas, but he's melting! They kind of ignore him here as he gets stunned up. Chains of Corruption do go wide though as Delight taking a lot of damage, but the poke, the artillery fire here from Viper is just ludicrous, and Kalist getting thrown out of the battle. Zeus still extremely healthy. As Zeka on this flank angle, and they will be able to take the soul, but one more can they get? Exactly right, Zeka finding almost everyone with that one, is down goes Vladdy. Kana just realizing that someone will have to die. It may as well be him as Zeka gets another one in the fight. Zeka is looking really, really good, and this is not his flavor of champion either, as Peanut looking aggressive, finds the Impale. They're happy to just grab any target as Daisy and Targamas both going down in unison. And Zeus is just zoning everyone away. Yike segmented off as well. He'll just explode.
And they can even go for Vladdy at the same time. He gets tagged.
Yeah, Winter's Bite coming on through there as there's the stun. And Vladdy gonna be taking a lot of damage. Does manage to, well, he is now moving the wrong direction. Or is it the right direction? Yeah, Cloud Soul is also just kind of obscene.
He's fine.
As, yeah, Callista's the one that's in trouble as the Impale comes through. Zeka there for the follow-up damage. And this Ezreal nowhere he can go, and Zeus turns it into an engage opportunity onto Vladdy. That's, I think, demonstrating just how far behind KC are this game. As they'll move up towards this inhibitor on the top side, the base just in ruins. As HLE, I think they're done here with game number 2. They're gonna make it a best of 3 as they take down the second. As KC pretty happy. They have that one game buffer. They can use this as an opportunity to go back to the drawing board and figure something else out. But this one was all HLE all the time. And this team looks real angry with dropping a game in this series.
Yeah, next.
Game 3 was a little better in terms of KC finding proactivity. Yike on the Sejuani in particular was really trying in those skirmishes. But HLE's comp was molded for the early skirmishes, and they were thrived there. There just wasn't enough time for Kana on the Gangplank and Vladdy on the Victor to get into the game before Peanut and Zeka took over on the Xin Zhao and Sylas. Zeka in particular was unreal on the Sylas. He just would not die. Nor for that matter would anybody else on HLE, much to KC's chagrin. But it was Zeka's signature champ that was the most impressive of the bunch. He earned the series MVP, and that's in large part because of this game. Zeus in the other solo lane also handled the GP matchup into his Jax exceptionally well too, building a significant lead in a nominally neutralizing matchup. A quick nod goes over to Delight on the set too, an unusual support pick in this day and age, not the cleanest, but it was a lot of fun to watch.
Managed to take his red buff, but there's the knockup, and in comes Zeka. He lands the chain, but Delight goes down first.
Here to Zeka though.
Oh dear, Glacial Prison that he just picked up as well, and now Vladdy is just dead. Peanut able to come on through with you.
I mean, it's just a little bit greedy. I think he was mismanaging the time there. He's thinking, you know, I can get in and actually clear this wave. Khalees, though.
Yeah, Facebreaker onto both of them. Cannon Barrage is there. It's a flash away from the crash down. Targamas only level 5, but it doesn't actually matter. Yike actually in the perfect position. And Khalees says, yep, I'll just bait you in. But now Zeka looking for even more. Wind becomes lightning. Zeka just, throws out the dash cannon. And now Yike is in trouble as well. The knockup comes through. Peanut is able to take down Targamas, and now Yike hit by the haymaker. Zeka has enough damage, and it's a double. Looking to set up for that style of play as the arrow is going to connect onto Calist. Peanut moving in as well. Facebreaker, fantastic. There's the suplexes. Oh my god! The Magnet Storm so good. Yike has been in the perfect positions, and Delight going to be going down as well. Yike finally falls, but Zeka is a raid boss. He's just too strong. And this duo cannot be beaten. It's Zeka.
Oh, Targamas.
Yeah, Targamas in a little bit of trouble. That is a beautiful arrow, but doesn't actually do too much here as Vladdy getting pushed around. Once again, though, KC holding themselves together. Another suplex from Delight, who gets a haymaker for the big old shield and uses that to take down his opposite number. It's a 1-for-1 trade in the end. Oh god, yeah, there's those Bash Brothers we were talking about. Vladdy is going to bear the brunt of that as Zeka underneath the turret isn't worried at all. The curtains have been called as Viper wanting to get that fancy footwork out and Peanut needing to block at least one of them. Viper now looking for even more, and there it is, Yike finally taking him down. Peanut grabbing yet another kill.
Oh my god, has he been on a mission in game 2 and 3, and now Vladdy in trouble again.
Oh no, it's the Bash Brothers at it again as Peanut down here towards the bottom side, and
Zeka and Peanut are just ramping it up. And we talked last game about how, you know, they said, you know what, we're not going to skirmish anymore. This game is the opposite. TP's coming in, they're battling again.
Let's see whether Zeus can survive this one. Another arrow is going to sail by majestically, and down goes the Jax. But now Zeka has turned up, and so has the rest of the gang. Face breaker comes through. Yike gives him the thumbs up. I think he knows that he's well and truly dead. Peanut wanting to take down Canna at the same time. He's going the wrong direction. Takes a while to get through Yike there as well as the audacious charge. Wind Becomes Lightning actually missing onto Canna there as we could see. And Targamas, I think you might just be more food for HLE if you stick around, buddy, as Delight is going to go over the wall. Does have the ignite there, and Viper with the volley will be able to lock that one down. Targamas, like we said before, it's going to be hard for him to be able to do anything as the Deadly Flourish, not really that
Mountain
right.
Drake away from a Mountain Soul.
Uh-oh.
Well, some chains are going to connect here as the Cannon Barrage is going to be used by Zeka, and he...
Casey, you're going to send everybody top, but we'll
Is
see if
it
they can do
enough? That's the question. As the Winter's Wrath goes wide, they do manage to land that Glacial Prison, and Zeka going to buy some time by breaking this arm guard of his. And it should be enough here, as he's got a Glacial Prison of his own, and now he's bought enough time for the rest of his team to turn up. Delight comes in with the ultimate. Targamas with the Magnastorm going to try and get something done. Delight already dead in this fight. And now Zeus with the counter-strike, going to be able to take down Targamas first, and Yike, no damage back here, as Zeka should be able to hold him in place and take him down. It's another one, godlike now for this Silas, as Vladdy does get his shield, but Otacon going down. And this teleport is going to get Zeka over here, and Canna, we saw
Just
what happened
one turret,
last time.
man! Just one turret!
I don't know whether that's going to be allowed. He eats some oranges, but I just don't know whether he's going to be K, guys. I don't think he's going to be K. Legendary now for Zeka, as this is getting difficult.
On Yike.
Gave Sejuani a little scratch on the butt there.
Yeah, he certainly did. Now, another curtain call going to come through, as there's a Magnastorm as well. Zeka taking a lot of damage, but goes golden to get away from the Glacial Prison. Down goes the set once again, but that's kind of been Delight's job so far. This series is into the backline. Goes Zeus, he's finding everyone with his counter-strike. Now Canna being pushed away. Vladdy died at some point in that skirmish. And the rest of... I mean, this is a mission.
He's gonna get out.
Well, let's see whether he can.
He's fine.
He's outsmarted them. Yeah, nicely done. Targamas in this 1v2... Okay, Zeus doesn't know how to take damage. Yike does manage to land an ulti here, as we can see. Zeka going to be able to turn into the Sejuani, picks up the ult. He's legendary again. And Zeus is continuing this onslaught, and if I was Kalista, I would just have no idea what to do. Like, what are you supposed to do? Give him the thumbs up. Yeah, maybe that's just the rule. There's Vladdy going to turn up there as well. Zeus inside the enemy base. Delight going to be moving on over as well.
Tower.
Yeah.
We're on the board. Kana takes the tower.
Oh, well, Zeka has found Vladdy again. Chaos Storm sort of everywhere. Flash out, and Delight just does the walk up and ignite maneuver. Yeah. Kingslayer gets a whole bunch of health back. Not going to be able to land the chain here as the Cannon Barrage will help take him down. Kalista there with a fourth shot to the back of the head. So they get the shot down. The legendary Zeka is dead. And it's a 12,000 gold lead. Facebreaker comes on through here onto Targamas. And Peanut turns up. He says, I'm still very legendary.
He hasn't died yet, by the way. Peanut now winning the KDA battle.
Yeah, nailing it. Although actually, Zeka is now definable as far as KDA is concerned. Canna is going to get audaciously charged at here by Peanut. Flashes out of the way of the arrow. But this is now minions attacking Nexus turrets. I think game number 3 is done and dusted, as HLE will move to match point here in this best of 5. And have now the opportunity to become our first stand.
The last game was all over the place. It was a full dive comp for HLE. Once again built around Peanut's Vi. Reminder, he went 16-1 and 16 just yesterday.
What is he doing?
I don't know.
Paired that up with a Camille and Ari alongside a Graga support from Delight, who's clearly given license for the weirder options this series. KC tried to match, punished that with great counters. Gally, Kennen, and Hampton all throwing themselves at the enemy divers, while Targamas on the Renata used the hostile takeover to punish. Kalista on the Draven should have had a great lane into the Xayah Dragons, and from ahead with all these tools, he should have been able to stand and deliver into the Dynasty onslaught, which never happened after an appalling level 1 invade from KC. Watch and wince as Kalista just walks into their butt. Doesn't really get better from there, as KC oversteps trying to push for individual advantages recklessly and regularly. Kana gets caught out twice, just walking into range of an easy drag assault. All the while, HLE built up a terrifying lead on that mid-jungle duo. Ari and Vi were well and truly online, while KC was sloppy and late on pulling their own counter-punches back. We saw numerous moments in the game where Pantheon ults and Galio heroic entrances were late or played ill-advised. Mechanically outplayed and outwitted on a macro level too. Check the multi-turret trade for Dragon while HLE stores River, all over but for the lifting of the trophy.
There is a fist made for talking as Yike now also in trouble. Delight with the body slam comes through. Zeus turns up as well. Connect there and the thumbs up. A little bit of a worry as the charm is going to bring Targamas through the base gate as another taunt is going to connect, but it's even Delight that seems too tanky. He's going to withdraw.
No kills have been found, no turrets have been found.
Oh, Kana is dead. But there's another fight going on here as we can see. Double body slam. There's a gorgeous cask as Delight lined him up, put him exactly where he wanted him, and no bailout is going to be enough. Moving on over. It's very early in this game, so it's not likely to be just the end as the inhibitor does survive somehow. Justice Punch onto Zeka. The taunt is going to connect as well. Kaliss moving over, lands the stand aside, but he's charmed as the flash finally is used and the Whirling Death is just wide. But there's the Winds of War to come on through. The immediate heroic exit here for Vladdy at the same time. It's Kaliss with the bailout. Is going to take down Zeus. And cease and desist. I don't know about that one, Peanut. That was really a little bit of an overstep. And you're right, it's only Peanut that's kind of in there. Viper finally comes back and starts hitting it with some orders. In goes Zeus, and Yike unable to get the steal, but they're still able to get the kill onto Peanut. The answer is going to be there in Kana. He now has that ulti on cooldown. Zeus taxis in, kills. Teleport is optimistic from Zeus. Let's see whether this 1v2 is going to work out. He is level 17. And there is a heroic entrance, so with 3 people it might work out. Not timing the Hextech ultimatum just right here, but the rest of HLE are going to turn up. The bailout onto Kana is going to be able to keep him alive, but he's dead immediately afterwards, and Viper says, enough of this silly business. I'm looking to try and win the game with double siege minions. Both of these Nexus turrets are going to die. Vladdy going golden, but he can't defend as the hostile takeover is fantastic, but he does have the Featherstorm still. Avoiding the feathers, though, is Vladdy. Can he get more here as Targamas?
KC did manage to find some clutch base defenses, credit where it's due, and even tried to get into the Baron pit after HLE were a little over-eager in closing, but it was too little, too late. And Hanwha Life Esports were commanding in claiming the inaugural First Stand trophy. It was Peanut's first international trophy since MSI 2017 on SKT. It was vindication for Zeus on his decision to leave T1, and so many other storylines we'll have to save for another video. Hanwha Life Esports shows no signs of stopping here, and their eyes now hungrily rest on the rest of the silverware available to be claimed throughout the rest of the year. For KC, they go home frustrated, but with their worth proven. They can make deep runs at tournaments. They can match the best in the world when they're on their game. They've proven their resilience. Now to see how much they can grow. But for now, the story pauses. First Stand is over. HLE worthy champions. What was your favourite memory of the event? Which players stood out to you? Let us know in the comments below. Like, follow and subscribe for more. Until next time, Initialize signing off.